Hi, I'm Adam from Gift Music, and today we're looking at 5 of the best mini MIDI keyboards for under £100. So what is MIDI? MIDI stands for Musical Instrument Digital Interface. So effectively what it means is you can plug any one of these into your DAW via USB cable on your computer or laptop, and you can effectively record what you physically do. So these don't translate to a sound unless you apply one there. So if you're playing a key like this, it's not going to capture anything other than how hard you play it and how long you hold the key for. The same with the pads, the same with the knobs, and the same with your different controls up here. So what does that mean if you've not got sound? So effectively, what you can do is you can apply these, record anything you want into it, and then apply it to a drum machine, a synthesizer, a piano, strings, any sort of VST or plugin that you want inside of your DAW. There are a lot of different ways to actually get MIDI into your computer. You can do it via a controller like this, which these have pretty much everything that you need in them, but they can actually break down into different categories. So you can have ones with just keys. Those key variations, you can have your 25 key, you can have 49 key, 61 key, 88 key. Then you've also got wind controllers. So for example, you have Akai EWIs and you have Roland Aerophones. Then you've also got drum pads, so you've got a little bit of drum pads there, and a lot of the times those come with like knobs on there as well, so you can put that into your system too. Today, we're looking at these 5 little ones though. These are mini MIDI keyboards. So what we're looking at is the Akai MPK Mini 3. We're looking at the M-Audio Oxygen Pro Mini. We're looking at the SubZero MiniCommand, the Arturia MiniLab MKII, and the Novation LaunchKey Mini MK3. So one of the other things that you can see here very clearly, they've all got finger pads on them. So what do I mean by that? Effectively, the pads that are all on here are traditionally reserved for finger drumming or sample playback / triggering. If you're like me, you're not really that good at programming MIDI drums with a mouse. So it's so much easier to get all your things applied to this and just go. It's so much easier and so much more tactile to do that, which I find a great benefit. As mentioned, they've all got at least 8 pads on here. For example, the Akai MPK Mini, that comes directly from the MPC range. MPC is historically one of the best known pieces of gear for drumming and MIDI samples, and the feel and playability is fantastic. However, if you're looking for something that's a bit more tactile, you're wanting more pads for more playability, Novation LaunchKey has 16 pads on there. So you've also got a litany of different other features on here, such as knobs and faders. What these can do is they can be assigned to different effects within your DAW or your VSTs. Effectively, you can assign this to a frequency, an envelope cutoff, reverb settings, or even panning if you want to. It's all there and assignable. Some of these MIDI controllers have more knobs than others, which is really good for some people. For some people, it might not be a feature that you're overly interested in. The SubZero MiniCommand and the M-Audio Oxygen Pro Mini have 4 knobs. The Akai MPK Mini 3 and the LaunchKey Mini all have 8 knobs. But if you're really wanting that tactile feel, you're really wanting that intricate programming, so you can get that envelope filter, that frequency, that reverb control, all on your MIDI board, the Arturia MiniLab MKII has that with 16 different assignable knobs. Another really handy feature that comes on these mini MIDI controllers are different transport controls. Now, transport controls effectively allow you to remove yourself from your laptop and control your DAW off of the MIDI controller. These controls are commonly play, stop, loop, record, and they also include jog wheels and touch strips. So one of the few features that all of these MIDI controllers contain are an octave up and down. So as mentioned, these are only 25 key. An octave up and down will allow you to go up and down the octaves on a piano if you apply that there, or a synthesizer, meaning that you've got access to your C1 up to your C6, all by just going up, down, up, down. These all also feature a pitch control or a modulation in some form or another. So pitch control, if it's the SubZero, you've got your pitch up and your pitch down. With the MiniLab and the Novation LaunchKey, you have touch strips for your pitch. So these are really kind of sensitive, really good. You've also next to them got your modulation touch strip as well, which you can apply to anything you really want. The M-Audio Oxygen has a pitch wheel, which will snap back in place. It's also got a modulation wheel next to it for a little bit more tactile. If you wanted something really fun and really wacky, the Akai MPK Mini has a joystick, which is 360 degrees and allows you to kind of go anywhere you want with it. However, if you really want to detach yourself from your laptop, the M-Audio Oxygen Pro Mini has pretty much everything you need on top of it. You've got loop, you've got a tap tempo here, you've got your different pad banks that you can access. You've also got a few different features that these don't have. For example, you've got an arpeggiator, you've got smart chord, you've got a smart scale feature. So if you apply the scale, you can just press a note and it will progressively do a scale. You've got different banks that you can access, as well as a screen, which is really handy and it'll allow you to kind of track whatever you want on there, be it parameters or how long you've been recording, whether you're recording or not. That's such a handy little feature. So yeah, if you're really wanting to detach, the Oxygen Pro Mini is the one for you. Next, we're going to look at the connectivity. These are all plug and play straight out of the box. So in the boxes, you'll get a little MIDI cable. You can plug that in directly into your computer, open up your door, and it'll all have mapped immediately to that door. So you've always got a start in place with it. However, some of these boast a couple more connectivity features than the others. If you're coming from a piano background, a sustain pedal might be a really important thing for you, for feel, for how you want to play. It can be a really important feature for some people. So Akai, M-Audio, Arturia, and Novation all have a 1/4-inch sustain pedal input, which is really handy if you really want to get that full expression feel. Another cool thing about two of these keyboards is the fact that they've got MIDI outputs. Both the M-Audio Oxygen Pro Mini and the Novation LaunchKey can be used standalone, meaning that you could take your USB cable that you would normally use for bus power to plug into a computer. You can plug that into a phone charger, for example. It can then be bus powered and standalone there. Take your TRS output and send it into a MIDI interface. That interface can then go to analog hardware, be it a drum machine or a synthesizer. You can actually control those with these MIDI keyboards, meaning that you have modules, that you have a whole host of different things you can use it with. Let's look at the software bundles that come with all these different MIDI controllers. The SubZero MiniCommand doesn't actually come with any software out of the box, meaning you have the freedom to use any DAW that you want with it. It doesn't push you towards a specific platform or anything like that. You can just plug this in with whatever you use and you don't have to change your workflow. You can just get straight into it with a really good little MIDI controller. The Novation LaunchKey was designed to work around Ableton Live. So therefore, out of the box, it comes with Ableton Live Lite, which is a fantastic little platform for anyone wanting to make beats or producing or anything like that. Whilst it has been designed to integrate pretty seamlessly with Ableton, it doesn't limit you. You don't have to use it exclusively with Ableton. You can use it with Logic, Pro Tools, Reason, Cubase, whatever you want. The Akai MPK Mini 3 comes with what Akai call the Music Production Starter Kit, which is a fantastic starter point for anyone that's just getting into this. It comes with MPC Beats, which is Akai's flagship DAW. It's incredibly easy to use and based off of their MPC series, as mentioned previously. It also comes with 1,500 fantastic sound samples and libraries, such as ethereal melodic loops, some crazy electronic samples, and the hardest hitting 808s that you'll probably hear in ages. The M-Audio Oxygen Pro Mini is a fantastic way to detach yourself from your computer. This effectively comes with 3 different DAWs straight out of the box. You have access to MPC Beats, Ableton Live Lite, and you've also got access to the industry standard Pro Tools. You get Pro Tools M-Audio Edition on this. So effectively what that means is it unlocks a few different extra features that you wouldn't necessarily have if you got the standard Pro Tools First Edition. Those are access to a few different VST plugins which come from Air Technology, and you've also got some fantastic instrument sounds in there as well. The Arturia MiniLab MKII also comes with Ableton Live Lite, a fantastic platform for beat makers and people that really wanted to get into really cool production styles and everything like that. But Arturia themselves are known for fantastic analog synthesizers and fantastic software. With Arturia, you get a taste of these fantastic VST sounds with their Analog Lab Lite software, which has presets from their award-winning V Collection 5 series. These premium sounds are things such as electric pianos, analog mono synth, string machines, drum machines. It really gives you access to sounds that you might not have ever thought about using before, which is really cool. In conclusion, these are all fantastic options for a mini MIDI keyboard. But realistically, what you choose is going to be dictated to your workflow, whether you want something basic to integrate directly into your system now, or whether it's something that you want to learn and you want to really take a hold of. These are all excellent options and you wouldn't go amiss with any. If you want more information on MIDI keyboards and MIDI controllers, visit the Gear for Music website, and thank you for watching.